this masterclass for you guys today. And I just want to take a moment, and I'm scrolling through all of the faces and the names and everyone on Zoom. It is absolutely phenomenal to see all of you here live with me today, or even if you're watching this on the replay at some other time. I'm very grateful that you're here. But if you're here live with me on your Saturday, I'm so excited that you are here. And I'm just like shaking with the most excited like nerves and vibes and energy to bring this conversation to you guys today. So my intention during this class, during this masterclass, is to bring to you a different conversation around social media and around content as coaches in the online space. So what I would love to know, if you're here live, and if I can get kind of a good grasp, is if you're a coach and if you're actively using social media. Actually, if you're a coach, but you feel like your social media is meant for something more, this is what I would love for you to tell me in the chat. If you are in my world, you know that the way that I speak about social media, I speak about it in many, 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 many different ways. And I'm gonna break down my context around why I speak about social media and content in many different ways in this masterclass, so you can understand why it's not as simple as just posting content. So I'm here to bring you an up-leveled conversation, and I want you to participate in this masterclass from your most highest self. And what I mean by that is, wherever you currently are at right now in your coaching business and in your online personal brand, I want you to envision as if you're participating in this of like a year from now at your next level goal. Like if you're at 100K years, imagine you're watching this and you're having $500,000 years. If you're close to your $1 million year, like imagine if you're already a multi-millionaire watching this. Like I want to expand your mind, and I want to expand a conversation and teachings around what's happening in the online space. And if you really listen to what I'm saying and you implement and you move forward after today's class, you are going to create something absolutely next level, okay? So I'm going to give a little bit of context of my vision and how I view my coaching business and how I've viewed it since the beginning, so you can gain some context. And then the things that I'm going to talk about today are going to be emotional intelligence as online coaches in the online coaching space. I'm going to talk about what it means to be posting content from a place of abundance versus lack. And I'm going to talk about what it actually means to be an influencer coach. I'm going to redefine the word influencer. Let me know if you love the word influencer, you hate the word influencer in the chat, because some people absolutely hate it, but I'm going to change the vibe a little bit for you guys, and I'm very excited. You are also going to hear me talk about different offers that you have the opportunity to join in my world, and we will be sharing links in the Facebook group and in the email, and I will talk about them a little bit in more detail at the end of this. And whether you desire to join something or not, I think that it's really cool to witness someone who you look up to selling something, so it makes you maybe better selling. So with all of that, I'm going to share what it feels like for me to run my coaching business on social media, or what my thought process was before I actually became a coach. So I have been present on social media since 2012, basically since one of my friends in university said, hey, get Instagram, it's a cool thing to get. So I have had this love relationship with creating content and with expressing myself and with creating community and giving value. And even I would also say I love creating entertaining content. I love being funny. Like social media to me is like I get to express and I get to share and I get to live my life. And social media is this extension of it. And I had this relationship with content and with social media since 2012. And I did not have a coaching business in 2012. And I didn't sell things on the internet in 2012. I thought I was going to be a teacher in 2012. So I had this love for just, wow, we can create so easily on our phones content. I fell in love with taking pictures and editing pictures and taking little videos and editing the videos. I fell in love with this creation, with this expression of like, wow, it takes me 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, however long of a time I want to place this intentionality with content. Like I fell in love with the process of creating. I fell in love with the process of like, the world gets to find this content. Like the world gets to find little Stephanie Ann Houston and a little Ontario, Canada. Like the world can find what I'm thinking in the moment I put it out there. Like I was just mind blown by it all. So just to reset the vibe, this was me before I even sold a thing on the internet. There was me in love with all of this. So I have a complete love for creating a personal brand, right? You get this vibe. I have a complete love with creating content just to create content. I have a complete love of, being a little innovative and funny and entertaining with my content with no means to an end. It's just this process that I fell in love with it. And I would love to know if you have something similar, a similar love, or maybe you don't. And what the biggest thing that I want to say right now, it's okay if you don't love it the way that I'm describing it to you. It's okay if you're like not warm and fuzzy with social media the way that I am. Like, it's okay. I want to make that very well known. It's okay. This is self-awareness. So when I came in to the online coaching space, what did I already have? I had a love for content and social media, and I had a natural ability to do it without feeling like I have to do this to sell. It's a complete different vibe, right? It's a complete different vibe. So what I'm talking about today is not what to post, not what to post to attract clients, not what to post to get people to buy. I'm having a deeper context around what it means to be present on social media as content creators, influencers, visionaries, coaches, and entrepreneurs. I'm having a conversation around our emotional intelligence as leaders. Let me know if you define yourself as a leader. We are leaders on social media. This is a different level, okay? So there's times where it makes sense, and you guys see me sell stuff like this, and I will keep selling stuff like this, where I'm gonna tell you what to post, how to attract clients, how to gain followers, how to sell. That's important because I want you to make money in your business. But this is a different conversation for the people who are maybe already making a lot of money in your business, and you're ready for a different on your social media. You're ready to step it up in your personal brand, or you're still in the process of like, I really want to bring my business to a different income level, but this is going to skyrocket and change how you view your content and how you view your personal brand. Okay. So there is a big, big, big difference between these two things. There is a big difference between it is my job to post on social media. Who here wakes up and you're like, okay, what am I gonna post today so someone finds me, right? You wake up and you're like, okay, it's like the biggest thing of your day is like, what am I gonna post? What am I gonna post so people find it? What am I gonna post so people buy? Like, it's like my job is to post. It's that versus it is my job to be an entrepreneur. It is my job to influence. It is my job to change lives. It is my job to create something spectacular with my life and with my community, and I document it on social media. There's a very big difference between it's my job to post on social media today versus it's my job and I'm going to change the world today. It's my job to change someone's life today. It's my job to share like the burning fire message that I feel in my belly. And it's my job to do that and to share it on social media today. Now, I'm going to say this because a big piece of what I'm talking about today is also self-awareness. It is okay if you don't have a fire in your belly posting on social media. It is okay. Okay? I'm not here to say you're better if you have a fire in your belly. I'm here to explain there's a different energy of what we're doing if you have a fire in your belly versus if you don't. Okay? So don't feel discouraged if you're like, I don't have a freaking fire, Steph. You're way too excited about social media. Like, I'm just trying to make a buck. Okay? Like, I'm going to explain the difference, but maybe ignite a fire for you so you can, create something a little bit bigger here. Okay? So I would also love to know if you resonate with what the story, I know you do, Xtina. The story of my story, I had a personal brand before I started selling things on the internet, and I would love to know if you did as well. Or were you someone who you started posting on social media because you decided to be a coach? Like, which one is it for you? Okay. Did you have a personal brand before you started selling your coaching, or did you pretty much just get your social media to sell your coaching? There's different kinds of coaches on social media. Okay. There's different kinds of coaches. And now I don't mean there's a business coach and a fitness coach and a relationship coach. I mean that there's different kinds of coaches, and the way that's different is how they use social media. So there's some coaches on social media who literally maybe made their Instagram and made their group and really only use Facebook or whatever now because they found the coaching space. And now they're like, oh, in order to sell my coaching, I need to have an Instagram, right? So there's like the coaches who are on social media because they need to sell on social media, right? Like there's that kind of coach. Basically, the only reason they have a brand is to sell coaching. Now, there's also coaches who on social media, or not just on social media, but there's coaches who are entrepreneurs. And what I mean by that is they aren't just coaches, but maybe they've got multiple businesses. Let me know in the chat or in the comments, do you have multiple businesses? Maybe you sell products. Maybe you've got a storefront, and you're a coach. Maybe like you've got other entrepreneurial tendencies and things happening in your world. So you're not quote unquote just a coach, but you've got products and this and this and this and this. And like you're more of what I call an entrepreneur coach. So what's the dynamic of an entrepreneurial coach? What is their social media like versus a coach? So just a coach, I think of like, and I make a joke out of it, but I'm not shaming it. I'm just make a joke out of it of like, you can tell the very like on Instagram, like I'm a coach and it's here's 5 tips on my thing. And on their Instagram story is like, I'm showing up. Here's my 5, like my mini Instagram story training. It's like, it's very coachy, like the coachy content, right? It's just very coachy. Versus if you're a entrepreneur and you've got other things happening in your life and your business and products and whatever, your mindset is a little bit different. And the content, what does that content look like on social media? Yeah, you talk about coaching, but it's also like a little bit deeper of like more of like what it feels like to be an entrepreneur. And there's a little bit more depth. There's a little bit more depth to the content of like, it's a little bit more mindset of like, this is what it takes to build this, or this is the story that I want to share with you of how I built this coaching business and this other business. Like there's more meat to it. You can feel it, right? And the content maybe is a little bit more creative naturally because this person is an entrepreneur, not just a coach. Okay. There's a different vibe, right? There's a different vibe. Now, I laugh at the next one as well because I'm like, oh, I think I'm kind of all of these a little bit. And I've completely made up all these different types of coaching, but it's valid, right? So, or different types of coaches. There's the Instagram coach. Maybe you grew up in a time where Instagram became more popular. So it's the coach who built a following from being like the cool person on Instagram who posted their fitness selfies, or the cool person on Instagram who just, you did your makeup tutorial on Instagram and you get some followers, and then all of a sudden you have like a cute little fan club of followers on your Instagram. Like the Instagram coaches who you built a little community of following on Instagram just for fun. And then as Instagram evolved and the coaching space became bigger, you're like, whoa, I can build something here. I can coach. And then it's like, you've got a following and people love you, and people love to watch your behind the scenes, and people love to watch your family, and people love to watch what you're buying and what you're doing. Like they love to watch all of you, right? Like the Instagram kind of coach. And I'm like, oh, that was totally me in the fitness days, right? So their content is going to be a little bit more of like lifestyle and BTS. And it's like more of like, oh my God, I love her. It's like watching a reality TV show. Okay. So maybe you're kind of like all of these, or maybe you really identify like, I'm just the coach and I'm on Instagram and social media to sell my coaching. Or maybe you're like, you know what, I've got all these different dynamics going on and I'm an entrepreneur and I've got the products and the things, and you see the difference, right? Or maybe you're like, I'm literally here because you found Instagram when you were in high school, your early 20s or whatever, right? And then you built this like, you know, fun social media, and then you're like, I want to be a coach, okay? Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up, we are all showing up on social media and creating content in a completely different way because we all have a different experience of the way that we're meant to express on social media. Do you feel this? Do you understand this? So you are identifying with whatever one that you're identifying with / what you're really identifying with as you're reflecting on this right now is where you land in all of this. Can you feel the difference of like, wow, I never thought of it like this? Because what I found we tend to do is you're looking at me or you're looking at some other coach and you're looking at my content and you're wondering, why can't I make content like Steph? Why does my content not look the same as, I don't know, so-and-so who's just a coach on Instagram? Why doesn't my content look like, you know, whoever's? And it's because we all have a different experience on social media sharing our coaching. For some of us, it's just the coaching. For some of us, it's our whole entire entrepreneurial journey. For some of us, we've been on here for, 15 years documenting our life, so it looks a little bit different. So this is the biggest piece of self-awareness we need to have as leaders, is to not just identify where do you land in all of that and like, oh, of course, I'm going to stop trying to make content that looks like so-and-so's. I'm going to really, buckle down on the kind of content that makes sense for me and it's going to land differently. But also, do we now have a little bit more compassion for understanding your followers and everyone else on here of their content is going to look different. Their experience on Instagram, on social media is going to be different because they are doing it from their own way. Self-awareness. So every time now going forward, like this, literally, it makes me want to cry because this will be a game changer if you understand this in this moment or in the future it lands. And when it lands, tell me whether it's in this moment or 10 weeks from now, message me and tell me, is the next time, because you will take many, the next time you buy someone's, whether it's my Instagram strategy training or someone else's, you're going to participate in it completely different because of now the self-awareness you have about yourself. So you're going to take a strategy course. You're going to take an Instagram posting course. You're going to take 25 million more of these courses for the rest of your online career. But the way that you interpret what is taught is going to be a completely different experience from this moment on, because you have the self-awareness of how to apply it based off of the kind of person and coach that you are. This will be a game changer for you, because we need strategy and we need how-tos, but what we don't need is cookie cutter. What we don't need is, I have to take everything Steph says in her 3-step process and apply it the exact same way. That's not what we need. That's not what I'm giving you anyway. I'm giving you an opportunity to take a framework, but I want to empower you to apply it in a way that makes sense for you. Okay? This is a huge game changer. So with all of this being said, we now are understanding that we all show up on social media for our coaching businesses in a completely different way. And it's absolutely fucking, in my opinion, phenomenal, because we need individuality. We need more expression. We need all of us. And we need all of us to be even more self-expressed in our own way, because what is happening, more and more coaches are emerging in the online space, and more different kinds of coaches are emerging, and we need all of it. Okay. Now, this brings me into a big topic. There are more and more coaches coming into the online space. Coaches, entrepreneurs, basically, this is what's happening. There's more fresh, new, young, not very experienced entrepreneurs coming into the online social media space. So beyond just businesses, more coaches, more opportunities for the coaching industry to make more money. I'm not talking about competition. What is this a recipe for? Young, quote unquote young, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're here, you're young. Unexperienced entrepreneurs, we're all somewhat fresh. What does that feel like? What does that look like? Unexperienced entrepreneurs, let's put them all in a cage, and let's call the cage Instagram. Instagram is social media. What is social media? External validation, photos, pictures, videos, trends, likes, comments, public people saying things. And so we've got social media, which is in and of itself a way that has brought up, not caused, brought up and exposed insecurity, lack of self-worth, unhappiness. Social media is exposing all of these things just with regular humans. And then let's put fresh entrepreneurs in the mix who are, I don't know what it feels like for you to be a fresh entrepreneur, but I'm on like year 5 and I'm like, well, this is awful. And what I mean by that is this is a lot. I'm building a business. Even if you have a team or not, it feels like you're carrying the weight on the world, the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's a lot. You have pressure, you're trying to make money, you're trying to make it work, you're trying to have all these pieces in place, you're juggling it all. And then it's like, let me go on Instagram and try and juggle all of that on Instagram, plus add all of these things. So in the online coaching space, this is the most incredible thing in the world. It's growing and it's booming in all these different ways. But what's happening is there's a lot of unhealed work happening, right? What needs to happen is we take responsibility for our own shit. But we need, as leaders, if you're here, you're a leader, your followers are even less experienced than you, and they're looking at you as a leader. What kind of content, what kind of energy do you want to put out to the world? So what's happening is there's a lot of people coming into the online space, building businesses, and it can get kind of catty. And I say this with love, because the new coach comes on and they believe in their way so much. And then all of a sudden they see Susie, who has a completely different way and she's killing it. And then all of a sudden this coach is triggered because her way, someone else is doing something completely different. And someone over here is being really polarizing. And then it's like these wars are going on through content. We've got to be better than this. Now, if you are here and in my world, you may identify me as someone who's very bold on social media. I'm very self-expressed. I'm very bold. I'm very me. I'm not afraid to say what I'm thinking. I'm not afraid to say my opinions, especially around social media, around content, around coaching. Like, I'm very sarcastic and funny and all the different things. So when I say we need to do better, I don't mean that we need to filter ourselves. What I mean is we need to be more self-aware and understand when we see a piece of content and we feel a certain type of way, we need to take responsibility for our own feelings. I'm just like taking a pause to be dramatic for a second. Like this is what there needs to be. So, and I want you guys to feel this. Me saying this to you right now is not like, oh, I hope you come to my class and you learn this. What I actually want from this is for you to all go to your social media and start sharing this kind of message with your community and say, hey, you know, I took a class today and this was brought up of like, damn, if we are all more self-aware on social media, starting with me, but then starting with you, this place is going to be a lot better. So it is our responsibility to take accountability for our own emotions and responses to other people's content. So if I see something that I actually don't like or don't agree with on social media, as Stephanie, I'm going to sit with the feelings that I feel and I'm going to process that offline before I choose to say something online. And again, I'm not telling you what to do, but just sharing what I do. If I see something online that I don't agree with, I do not comment on that person's thing and say, I don't agree with you. Because what good is that doing? But again, you can absolutely have a free conversation. I'm just saying. So I take responsibility for my own feelings of what I see on social media. Why? Because it's my responsibility, but also I truly believe in personal brands, social media, and the coaching space. I believe in those things. I don't believe in just my way. I believe in every single person's way, even if I don't lead that way. I believe in your way, even if I don't use your way, because I believe in you. Right? So what we need to do as leaders is to, one, take ownership of our own self-awareness, radical responsibility on social media, consuming content. And I really encourage you, if you have, you know, a really incredible following in a community, bring this conversation somewhere to your social media, because what we need in the online space is more of these conversations to heighten the emotional intelligence of everyone on social media. Because if you're selling coaching, you're a leader. If you're selling coaching, you're bringing people into your coaching containers to teach on something. So even if you're teaching if you're teaching makeup, only because Xtina's on here and I have my makeup done. If you're teaching makeup in your paid containers, it doesn't matter. You still have a following of people who look up to you because you're you, not just what you teach. So this mindset shift and this emotional intelligence on social media can be a massive ripple if we all share about it in a certain kind of way to empower each other. I truly, truly, truly believe that if you've been on the internet for years, building something for years, and we're not bringing conversation to this now, there's a lack of leadership there. So do it in a way that's empowering to you, but like this is going to be a big game changer for the rise of leadership and the rise in the coaching space if we raise the bar around this kind of thing. This is going to be huge. So start with you, start with your relationship. And this is the other thing that I want to say is this needs to be heard. Even if you're on year 7 of your coaching business and you're a multimillionaire, this needs to be heard if you're making multi-6-figure cash months. And this needs to be heard and implemented again and again. So it's not just like, oh, I'm going to be good from day one. It's like, no, if you're already established, there's always work to do. I'm constantly like looking inward of like, how am I feeling? What is my feeling around this? What is my reaction? I'm being intentional of what I share on my social media because I know people are watching, and not just watching and I'm afraid of what people are going to think. It's, I know that people are following me and they're interested in my opinion. They're interested in what I have to say. So I want to be intentional because I know that people are listening to my opinion a little bit closer. And your community is watching you. So it's like, to be intentional with this is going to be so, so, so huge. The rise of leadership and emotional intelligence and mindset is what I want to see in the coaching space. And it starts with all of us. This has nothing to do with what you're selling. This has nothing to do with the topic that you coach on, but this will absolutely enhance your leadership as more of like a quote unquote an influencer coach. I'm going to get into that in a massive way. This is where now people aren't just coming to you to learn the topic that you teach on. They're coming to you to lead, to see how to lead a way powerfully. Building a brand isn't just, oh, I have information. Building a brand is I'm a person who leads my life in a very intentional way. People are going to follow differently. And of course, buy differently, but there's not a means to an end there. If we want to create a better culture, it starts with this. Okay? It starts with this. So good. Okay? Now, whether you identify at the beginning where I was saying there's some coaches who just have a social media because you're a coach. If you identify as that, you're going to hear what I have to say next a little bit differently than if you identify as, you had a personal brand before. But even if you had a personal brand before, your relationship with social media may have changed. But the piece that I want to talk about now is I want to empower you to really look at your social media and your personal brand in a very different way. We cannot be posting on social media from a place of lack. What I mean by this is, if you truly want to transform not only your relationship with social media, but build an incredible personal brand, we cannot be waking up and thinking, what can I post today so someone buys my thing? The next level personal brand, the next level of leadership, the next level of you as a coach on Instagram is to create content, to create content. To create content because you've got something to say. To create content because you've got something to teach someone. To create content because you've got a message to share. There's no more. If we constantly lead our businesses, I will say this so boldly right here. If you are constantly building your coaching business from a place of, I need to create content so someone buys my thing, you will cap out how much money you make. The reason I make the kind of money I make is because I create content and I share content to create and share content. I sell to sell. It's two different things in my world. When I post content on my Instagram, I'm not thinking, oh, what can I write so someone buys my offer? I'm thinking, I really hope someone finds this piece of content today and they love it and they follow me. And they keep checking back. I hope someone saves this and they refer back to it. I hope someone watches this video like 300 million times in the next year because it's that good. I create content to create content. So a lot of people ask me all of the freaking time, all of the time, Steph, what is your content strategy when you're in a launch? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? There's no content strategy. I sell when I'm in a launch. My content is the same when I'm selling hot audience versus the coach program versus offer incubator versus, sure, I'll have topics in my content that are relevant to what I'm saying because that's a topic that's on my mind. But I do not have, and I do not teach this in my world of like, you have to shift your content to be able to sell your offer. How constraining is that? I don't. And to this day, like literally yesterday, one of my private clients asked me, and it's because other coaches teach it a completely different way of like, oh, you have to post in this certain kind of way to make sales. Like it's just not the vibe if you want a next level kind of influence, right? So I create content and I post content to post content and I sell to sell. So I'm extremely unapologetic, as you guys see, when it comes to selling. Like I'm just like, hey, here, buy it. Here's the thing, buy it. Here's the thing, buy it. Why does everyone buy? Well, for many reasons, because they love the boldness of how I sell and they want to sell that way, and because it's good offers, but also there's zero any kind of vibe from my content being like, I want you to buy my offers in my content? Why don't I have CTAs on my Instagram posts? Why? That's another question. Why don't you have call to actions to go buy your offers in your Instagram posts? I'm like, because they're not to sell. Game changer right here. Game changer right here. Are you posting from lack, or are you posting to post and then selling to sell? When you post to post, I guarantee the relationships that you have with your people already in your community are going to deepen. And I guarantee your audience is going to grow. When you start actually putting intentionality from an abundance mindset into your content, you're going to have the kind of content is going to skyrocket. You're going to get so much more creative. You're going to say so many more things. Like, this is freaking huge. People are going to go follow you because you have the best freaking profile. They're going to want to be in all of your things. They're going to want to be in all of your paid things and your free things. Why do you think people who join my collective, are in my mastermind, are in the things who pay to be in my world, are here today on a free thing? Why do you think the free things and the paid things? Because there's no me holding back in free things. It's a different energy when you're in a paid thing. So when it's that good, I want to be in all of it. Why would I pay money to go to a Beyonce concert if I can listen to it for free on Spotify or on YouTube? Because I want to pay to be in Beyonce's world, even though I pretty much have access to everything Beyonce posts, because like whatever, I'm gonna freaking pay for it. Game changer. Now, the other piece of content, okay, I need to share this. So I said this to a few clients the other day about Instagrams. This has nothing to do with this training, but we're talking about Beyonce, so it's important. Do you think Beyonce is looking at her story views? Do you think Beyonce cares how many people are watching her story? No. Because Beyonce is in a vibe, living her life, documenting it, and that's why everyone's watching. You know why we're not watching your stories? Is because you're thinking my story view numbers are down, so what can I post so people watch? So it is relevant to this topic, the way that I said it there, right? Now, that's where we want to agree with what Beyonce is doing. I love that I'm going here right now. However, Beyonce can make a post on Instagram and post a picture of herself and not post a caption, and it works for Beyonce. You are not Beyonce in this situation. I'm sorry. You can't post a selfie today with no caption and expect everyone to drop dead and be like, I want to buy from you. It's just not going to work. No one is at Beyonce status yet when it comes to that. So we're Beyonce when it comes to story views, but I'm sorry, on your Instagram feed, unfortunately, for most of us, we need to write something beyond just posting our outfit. Okay. My feelings are hurt. I'm not Beyonce. I know. I'm a little bit upset. Okay. So the thing that I have always loved about social media since the early days of me on social media, and it's because it started this way, and this is going to help you understand how to make better content as a leader as well, is when I started posting on Instagram, way back, what it actually was for me is it felt like, Steph, I'm documenting my life. It's like I'm writing in my journal. Because I really was, like, I was documenting my fitness transformation. Like, it was cool for me to like see it for me. So what happened then, because I was documenting and then I'm looking at what I'm posting, I started to bring more intentionality to my life because I wanted my Instagram to look better. And I'm not afraid to say that. I wanted my Instagram to look better, but I was documenting my life. So that meant I started to make my life better. If I'm sharing my life and I'm documenting, it doesn't mean it has to be perfect. Not at all. But if I want to be in love with my social media myself, and I'm looking back at all the memories, well, shit, I'm going to take better pictures. If I'm going to take better pictures, then I want my office to look different. I want my I want the neon sign. I want to put intentionality to what my office looks like. And I want the chair to be pink. And I want the pillows to be fluffy. And I want my outfit to actually kind of maybe look cute, maybe 4 out of 7 days of the week. And you know what? I'm going to get my makeup done for a free masterclass, because why not? I'm Stephanie Ann Houston. I can do what I want. But also I want to, I want to like look at these pictures and be like, I'm so in love with what I created. The content gets better, not because it's how can I make my content better? It's now I want my food to look better because I'm going to share my food. Now I want my nails to look better because damn, if I'm going to hold that cup in that picture, then my nails can't look awful, right? Like now I'm actually I'm going to look at every restaurant that I choose to go to before I book it. What does it look like? I'm actually, before I just pick whatever champagne bottle off of the rack, I'm going to look at which one matches my brand. And that's the one I'm going to buy. And it's hilarious. Do you know how much better my life has gotten because I care about these things? I pick the better restaurant, I pick the better hotel, I pick the better thing. And yeah, it quote unquote looks better, but I have a better experience offline as well. I eat better, I'm healthier, I take care of myself. Like this is so huge. And I want to make it very clear, it's not of like, I need to look a certain way. It's like, if I could be better in the process of how I want to look back on this, we change our complete day. Our day is completely different. I can go in the morning and go down and get an iced coffee from my like local coffee shop. And that experience, if I'm being intentional versus not being intentional, is a complete different experience of buying a cup of coffee. If you know what I mean, like that could be just, yeah, whatever, go get it. Or like, whoa, how can I create this and like make it look really good? What am I gonna order? What am I gonna wear? This intentionality, I'm using examples of like the day-to-day things, but bringing it in like more of your curated content of what you're sharing with your people. You're gonna have better content from a place of this just gets to be good content, not, oh, I'm gonna sell. What happens when you follow someone who's more intentional? What is your experience when you follow someone on social media and you can tell like they care about things? What do you feel when you watch them? You feel more connected. You feel like, wow, like I see what they're doing. Like it's exciting. And then they buy. And then they buy without logic, but with emotion. They buy because they like you. They buy because you care about certain things. You are intentional. Then they buy not just because you're an expert, because we all know you are. They buy because of your intentionality. So there's different levels. There's the coach who poaches. There's the coach who coaches. There's the coach who posts to show, I have information. I'm going to show you that I have 3 tips. There's the coach who educates. Then there's the next level where you can still educate, because I believe in giving tips and information in our content. I think we need to all the time. But then there's the coach who goes beyond and shares their life in an intentional way. And that creates a next level connection of embodiment and trust and confidence and a deeper relationship. I don't have a relationship with someone's profile who's just information. So if we're just sharing tips and information, we can make money and you'll have a great coaching business, but it will cap because there's no emotion. So when we bring in an intentionality of better content, entertaining vibe, story, intentionality, we get emotion and people are connected to us and our expertise, and people may buy because we're an expert and because we have information and because we have the 3 tips on how to blah, blah, blah. And then some people will just buy because they like us. Cool. I'm here for it. But at the end of the day, it's all done because you love what you're doing. Raise the bar for your own life. We are entrepreneurs, and most of the reason why you're a coach, or sorry, maybe not most of the reason, although it doesn't really matter, is maybe it's because you wanted a free life where you could do what you want and run a business the way that you wanted and all of these things. Like there's some kind of aspect of freedom. Yet we sit in our homes and we get lazy. And we get lazy with how we look, we get lazy with how we dress, we get lazy with how we show up. Now I'm all for 90% of the time I'm wearing my husband's baggy t-shirt and I wash my hair once a week. I'm all for that vibe. But I'm very much for a vibe of like, I'm going to put myself together and feel incredible, even if I'm just staying at home and doing calls. I'm going to, create a better piece of content, a better reel, because this is my job. It matters how people interpret what my reel looks like, not just the message, but the intentionality. That's my job. I'm going to care about where I take this photo in my house because I want it to look good. There's nothing wrong with that, 1. And 2, it's a world of a difference when people experience it. So like, I want you to start this moment, raise the bar for your social media, raise the bar. I'm not saying go get your makeup done to go on Instagram story. You don't need to go get your makeup done to do a free class, but hey, if you want to do it, and it'll be a story. I'm not saying you need to hire a team member to edit your videos, but I'm saying like take an extra 7 minutes to make them look kind of cool. Right? Yeah. Like I've gotten in a rut of not washing my hair, Bridget says, so then I don't show up the same on social media. Like, I totally get it. Like, how easy is it I don't have to leave. In Canada, in the winter, I don't leave my house for 3 months. So I'm just like, F the world, I don't care, right? But then it's like, oh, I don't want to show up. Oh, I don't want to do anything. I'm like, that's not the vibe. We are the leaders. We are the leaders of this. So if you really want to level up things, extra intentionality, not perfection, intentionality. Okay? Now, this next part really like freaking gets me very excited for many reasons, because it's me, it's complete me, and this is an edge for me to share it in this way, because God, I'm going to change the world with this. So I know you answered this if you were on at the beginning. Who feels like when you hear the word influencer, you think of the person who just has a cute discount code on their Instagram to like, get 10% off, and you share it with like, hey everyone, I bought this lipstick. If you want to save 10%, click the link in my bio. You just think of like the young influencer, who's like, here's my iced coffee, here's my protein drink. I'm an affiliate with Quest. If you want 10% off protein powder, click the link. Like, that's what we think of when it comes to influencer. And it's funny because we see it and then we make fun of it. Although the influencers who do that and make multiple 6-figure, 7-figure business, are we making jokes? Because there are people who actually do that, and I'm like, good for them that they can do that. Now, I don't have any kind of those connections, but one day maybe I will with products and whatever. That's not the point. The word influencer and the word influential and influencer coach, influential coach, influencer coach, to me is not, oh, you have a discount code. To me, it is you have a personal brand, either now or it's in the works, that doesn't just want to do close work with your within your coaching business, but you want to reach and impact macro amounts of people, a lot of people with your coaching, not quote unquote just one-to-one or small groups. You want your coaching business to be known and impact many. Hundreds of people in your group programs, hundreds of people in your paid master classes. You put something out, you get bing, 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 bing sales right away. This is an influencer coach, macro impact. Okay. Now, there's a lot of coaches in this space right now, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal, who are making multiple six-figure cash months. A lot of that income comes from high ticket one-to-one or like masterminds. So the reason that I'm saying this is because it's important to understand where people's money is coming from. So a coach who makes a $200,000 cash month from two people who pay them $100,000 is very different than a coach who is reaching hundreds of people and maybe has two private clients or whatever, and they have two things on their schedule a week, versus a coach who's making multiple six figures and is on one-to-one coaching calls. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's a complete different dynamic. So I have always wanted both. I want to show up and say I have something on my social media and offer, and I want there to be 50 signups to pay for something in the first hour. And I also want the small connection with my close people of like, I know you and I know everything with my one-on-one clients, and we have such a close relationship. But what has felt so freeing to me is to build something that I can generate multiple six figures cash in a month, and that's never relying on me doing a one-to-one call. Do you feel the difference? And I'm not saying that one is better than the other, because we get to do the kind of work that we want to do. But I am excited to show coaches that you can build something this financially insane without the high ticket. Now imagine if you do both. The influencer, like get all the people in your groups, like as many as possible. That's a never ending thing. And you have some high ticket. Like imagine the kind of the money that's coming in there, right? So it's not like you have to choose one or the other. But an influencer coach has a big priority of a brand and content in a different way versus a coach who just wants to make a couple six-figure years and do their coaching work. There's a different process, there's a different strategy of what an influencer coach is going to do and how they're going to show up and how they're going to sell versus, oh, I've got 2 launches a year, what do I do to make it work? I've never seen a coach create what I've created in the online space that is completely organic. I am still live in my group programs. It's not like you buy something and you go through a 6-month program and it's completely automated. I'm still live and connected, but we're impacting more and more at the same time and still raising the bar within the quality of our group programs. This is huge. This is huge. And this is what I've always been building in my different offers to teach people how to do in some sense. And going forward in my attraction program, my new launch and sell program, I'm teaching how to launch in a way where you don't want to like buckle up and get in a month-long launch. You want to be selling all day, every day, and creating all day, every day, and making sales all day, every day in a macro sense, and not like, you know, getting ready to ramp up and get in this like 3-week strenuous launch thing. It's like, no, you can launch and be in this fluid selling of things and be reaching a lot of people, making a lot of money, and still have a lot of time to create, to grow the brand. Is this making sense, you guys? This will be a game changer for the people who don't just identify as coaches, but you've got this butterfly feeling in your belly right now, this fire of like, you get to have a brand where you're so focused on community building, big scale content, and you get to be bringing in so much like high ticket money, but you're not selling the high ticket because you don't want to. You want to create, you've got the vision, you've got the people. Like This is a game changer for the coaches who want this. Now, you might be in a place right now, but like maybe you're making 5K, 10K months, and you're like, you still want to build the money financially to get to a place where you can see this big vision. I built this to this the way that it is today because of what I did when I was making 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, the exact same things that I teach you now. So I know that a lot of people get excited when I paint this vision, but you think I'm so far away, I can't start doing this now. Your job is to actually start doing this now, so you have this quicker than it took me to build this. This is my goal, is to teach people how to do this quicker than I did this, and I did this pretty fucking fast. Like, but if we double down on the pieces of creation, the pieces of what it actually means to be an influencer, a message, no lack coming from our content for content, raising the bar of group offers, what that looks like. This is what it gets to create for you, and faster than what you can even imagine. This requires a different strategy of offers. This requires a different strategy of social media and content creation. And this is the other piece of it that may be the most important because it's the foundation of all of it. This requires, when you look at someone you admire, you love to follow on social media, what are the qualities of that person? What is the energy that you feel from them? Charisma, embodiment, confidence, fun, boldness, power in themselves. You experience people's embodiment. So it is also your job, quote unquote, your job, to work on your embodiment, to work on your confidence, to work on how you feel within yourself. You know, there's someone on here right now, Sam Monroe, I'm calling you out. Sam Monroe has known me since we were little chicken nuggets, 3-year-olds in kindergarten. The Stephanie that Sam sees right now is not the Stephanie that I was most of my life. So a lot of people see me now of like, Steph just is naturally confident and whatever, but I had a lifetime journey of getting to this point. And I still work on myself of how can I feel better within myself. So the work that I do, a lot of behind the scenes, is the work so I can feel so self-expressed and confident within myself when I'm speaking to 53 people on a thing, when I'm speaking to my Instagram. So the work that we all need to do, no matter what day, year, whatever we're on, is this deepening of confidence, this deepening of I love me and I'm proud of me and I love my message. And I love my message that I'm going to be vulnerable to show up on social media and say it. And oftentimes, the more money we make, 50K, 60K, 100 cash months, millions, it's a new level of insecurity because people are watching differently. Oh, she makes money now. And then there's a different level of pressure, which means that there's another level of us deepening our own confidence within ourselves. So what do we need beyond the social media and the content and the offers and the things is we actually need to be people that people want to follow. We actually need to be proud of ourselves. We need to be confident. We need to be in our power, and we need to continually deepen what that looks like. If that's not a priority now, or it was before, and then it stopped, like this needs to be one of the biggest things for you. For you, number one, so you can feel so much better running your coaching business and your online brand, but also because you know what it feels to watch someone, you know, embodied. It feels incredible for me to watch people. I'm like, wow, they're just so in their element. Like, it makes me so happy to see people like that, but it empowers me to want to be better as well. This is a big piece of the influencer kind of coach is like, how can we can't be influencers if we're just trying to sell. We can't share an impactful message if we're trying to sell something. The motivational quote isn't so motivational if you really just want people to buy. You know, like it's like that piece there is so huge, and that piece is going to grow forever and ever and ever. And I think that's an incredible thing, right? So this is the big piece, okay? So the way that I see it is, these are the levels, and this is why it's called next level. And there's no hierarchy, there's no pedestal, there's no better than, but it's just different levels to aspire to be. There's the coach who posts content to be like, I know I have some information and some facts. We've got to show people what we know. And you kind of stay in there, right? Like the coach is just on Instagram to be a coach and sell their offers. You make good money, you sell your stuff. I mean, it works, but it kind of just stays there. Then there's the next level of, I'm going to be more intentional with my content a little bit, right? So it's like, I'm going to care about things a little bit deeper. I'm going to start to get a little bit more creative. I'm going to start to share like more of my personality, my embodiment, my confidence, my authenticity. Like an added layer of confidence is the energy piece. So it's like, yep, I know these things that I can help you, but also it's like, ooh, I'm going to choose Emily because of not just what she knows, but because of her vibe. I'm going to choose Lynn because of not just what she knows, because of her vibe and her style. And I feel it. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. Right? Like that's why we choose someone. We technically all have the same information, you know, but we have different energies and intentionality. So that's level 2, is like, let's up the ante. Let me know in the comments who's ready to like, okay, I've got to up the ante a little bit with this. So like people can feel the vibe of like why you're going to step into my world. So it's like just the baseline, then up the ante. Now, level 3, I didn't talk about this one piece. I'm going to talk about it quickly, is where and if you were in the multi 6-figure masterclass that I did the other week, I talked about this, is we start to share not just who we are and what we do, but we start to share our opinions around what we do. So the next level leadership in the online space is not just, hey, I know these things, and hey, this is who I am, but this is where we can share in an empowering way what we think. So for example, I share about what I think about the coaching industry in this class. This is what's happening in the online space. I'm going to take a stance and share my opinion about it. This is where we're thought leaders. We're sharing, hey, this is where, you know, if you teach nutrition, you teach dieting, this is what I think about dieting. This is what I think about body image. This is what I think about makeup. This is what I think about. This is where people aren't just like, oh yeah, I know she's an expert, or he's an expert. I know he knows the things, but this is what he thinks about the things. This is where people are following to hear our opinions. And this is also where the mindset of the emotional intelligence comes in, right? To make sure that it's not like my opinion is right, but I have an opinion, I feel good to share it. This is a new level. So you're paving the way. And this is where you're getting out of having to teach all the time, but you are becoming a thought leader. Because people know you're the expert, you live and breathe it, but now you're enhancing your content with like the juiciness. So I don't do things like free Instagram mini trainings. You're never going to see me ever again. And if you do, call me out, where I go on my Instagram story and I'm like, hi everyone, today I want to tell you 3 tips. I might do that in my content, but on my Instagram story, there's no way in hell that would ever happen again. But I used to do it because I had to show people I know the tips. Now I go on and say, I have something to say about what I saw today on Instagram. Where are you at with that? You all have something to say right now, but do you have the courage to show up and share that? I know you want to. It's a different level to have the courage and the bravery, because then what can happen is, oh, I don't like your opinion. I don't think the same way. Can you handle that on social media? That's a you thing. Do you want to handle it? You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. It's just a different level of leadership for you if you're going to. There are people on here, you didn't come to this class if you're not this person. You have something different to say. You have something more to say. Why are you not saying it? This is the moment you start to say it. Okay? And then the final, until I revamp this again, the final level is the influencer coach who has all of those things, plus, this is the part that gets me excited, you are the innovator. You're setting the trends. You're doing the next level things. You are the innovator. You're paving the way. You're the actual pioneer. I know this. I live and breathe this. You know I'm a vibe. You know I'm cool. This is the thing. Like, it's working. And now it's like you're going and you're in such a creative zone. You're like, let's just go and create. It's like, this is the time to throw spaghetti at the wall. It doesn't matter if it works or not. Let's see what works. Like, let's set this, the way for the people following. That's where it's a next level of you got to hear. And now you're going to help your people get to hear even quicker. Who is ready for that? Maybe it's right now. Maybe it's sometime very close to now. There's women in here that I see that I know you're ready for that now. And it's a different strategy. It's a different way. It's a different context to be in, to be that. This is the different levels of leadership. These are the different levels of leadership. And is it clear the different ways that we will post depending on where our level is, based off of not just the level, because you don't need to be on a certain level. It's what level do you want to be on? This is what I would love to know in the chat. Where do you want to be? No one has to be the pioneer. No one has to be the thought leader. No one has to be the whatever. Where do you identify you are, and where do you actually want to be? You don't have to be where I am. You don't have to be where Lynn is, Emily is. You don't have to be anywhere, but where we want to be is the place where we're fully embodied, because that creates the best ripple. So we're all going to be the leaders in our level. You're the leader of your way. You're the leader of your way. This is what I want. This is like buzzing me up right now, because this is what it is. We create a change when we are all our own embodiment of where we're meant to be. You don't need to be like me. You've got to be the full expressed you at the level that you want to be at. Don't look at another coach and be like, I'm not going to make it until I'm like her. She's in her full embodied vibe doing her thing. You've got to decide, where do you actually want to be? The self-awareness of what you want will change the game for you and your business, and will change the game of your personal brand, and will change the game for the people following you. When I felt this for myself of like, Steph, you're meant to coach in this way, and you're meant to build a brand in this way, there was like a little wobble. And I use the word wobble of like, a transition of like, oh, what is going, like, it's good, but it's not good. What's happening? There was a wobble for me energetically of like, this feels really good and really clear, but also I'm terrified, because what if people don't get it? And not a lot of other people are doing it this way. There was like oh my God, I haven't really seen someone do it this way. What if no one likes it? What if no one gets it? Like, there was a wobble. When I let myself just sit with the wobble, and then I look at myself in the mirror and say like, Steph, go show this to the world. People need it, whether they meet you at this level or some kind of way where it brings them to their own next embodied state. This is how I win. This is how I win. This is how we all win. I believe every single one of you on here can create something this so huge, multi-millions in the way you want, a personal brand in the way you want, and you feel like I am living and breathing my coaching business and my brand the way that I want. A lot of coaches are not fully embodied because you're building your brand and your business in a way that you think you should be, not the way that you actually have to be. I am giving permission for you to not only do it, but I'm telling you that it can be highly profitable the way that you want it. The coaching space is still so new. Like, there's a lot of like, here's how, and there's a lot of similar models, which is great. Go there if that's what you want. But there's so much room for innovation in business models, innovation in the brands that we're creating in this space. You have full freedom to go and play, and for it to be profitable in your way. Okay. When we start to show up on our social media and in our coaching businesses with this level, guess what doesn't matter? Steph, what's the tagline for my offer? Steph, what should I name my 3-month group program? Steph, what should I put on my Instagram story slide to sell this thing? Steph, I want to get more people to buy before pre-sale ends tomorrow. What do I say? At this level, you don't think about those things because you're a full embodied work of your offers and you know it and people know it. And like, you can say it however you want to say it. And it's important that we have good messaging. Don't get me wrong. But like at this level, people aren't buying because of like the 7-word sentence that you put on an Instagram story. They're buying because of what they already experience from you on your social media. At this level, people are not buying because of how you advertise your offer. They're buying because you have an offer. So maybe you're there. Maybe you're somewhere close to there. Maybe you're there and you want to bring it to a higher level. There's room for all of us to rise because of this. This is really what it is. This is what it is. This is my sauce. This is my magic. This is what it feels like for me. And I share it with you guys because I know it's so damn real. And I know the impact of it. When I look at this right now, you know, numbers are numbers and it matters, but like to advertise for 2 days a free thing and have 500 people opt in doesn't make sense. To have multi 5-figure cash launches from a $99 class. You do the math. Multiple 5-figure cash launches from a $99 class. That doesn't make sense. And I love that people say that I'm the unicorn and I made that up myself, but that doesn't matter to me in this context. What matters to me is that you believe that you can do it yourself too, because you can. You can have a 50K month from group offers, and then you scale it and have an 80 or 100K month from mostly group offers and 2 one-on-one. Like you can have it however you want. The magic and the unicorn vibes that you see in me is everything I just told you in the last hour and a little bit. You went like this the whole time. Yeah. Because the only thing that you get to do now is like, let's go do it. This is where I truly am so in love with my work and my life and my business, because it feels like I'm so in love with it every day because I am. I'm not posting to sell. I'm posting to share a message and become a better creator. I'm going to sell to sell, but I don't do this. So I do this so this leaves a mark for all of you. And then you go and do what you do with it and it trickles down. I'm doing this because it matters. Right? So let me know how you are currently feeling. We're not quite finished yet. We're almost finished. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling. We're also going to put up in the Exo Gingy Facebook group, and I would love, not yet, or maybe if you could multitask, we're going to put up a feed where you put like your biggest takeaways or like the biggest thing that stood out for you in the group, and I would love to read through it all after. So I would really appreciate if you just like bring your A game to responding on that feed. I am going to share a few different of my offers and things coming up, and all of these are different pieces to creating everything that I described during this call as far and as big as you want to go. So I've got a $150 offer and I've got like a 10K offer. So, and I've got things in between. So it's like you pick and choose what you want to do, whether it's all of it, none of it, or one of it, or two of it. These are some really exciting things. So the first thing that I am going to share with you, and it's the first thing that's happening, is a masterclass coming in April, and it's literally the strategy of how to create multiple 5-figure cash from low-cost masterclasses. So this, because of the topic and because of the title, it is $150. It is a one-time masterclass. Tay is like, I'm in and I cannot wait. Tay's already in. $150 until the end of the day tomorrow, and then the price is going up. So I'm literally teaching you like what this looks like. And so you can start to integrate how this can look, okay? So it's right now, it's just called the April Masterclass, and we're gonna share the links in the group later, okay? In April, my big 3-week group program in April is the Attraction Program. The Attraction Program is what I believe to be the heartbeat of all of this. And this is about embodiment and confidence and how to show up in our full power on social media. We need to have this and to work on this to show up with power for people to feel what I was describing in this class. So this is where, and I'm so excited for the Attraction Program this round, because I have something that I've been integrating for myself in the last 6 months, the level that I'm currently at, I'm sharing this process. So I've launched Attraction before, but it's always different teachings. So that's what happens with most of my programs. So some of you may have taken Attraction before, but it's a different vibe this time, but it's all around the context of confidence, unapologetic vibes of showing up on social media. So you can join Attraction, and if you join Attraction, you get the April Masterclass for free, okay? So if you choose to just join Attraction, you get the Masterclass included. The pre-sale price for Attraction is $1,111, and that ends, I believe, that ends the end of March. So you have time to choose that, okay? Now, I have a brand new launch, so you got to keep tabs, and we'll also make a post. This is how I sell multiple things. Welcome to my world. We've got a new launch and sales program coming in May. I did a launch program last year. I'm making it longer this year, and it's my entire launch process and my sales philosophy. So how do you sell multiple things at once? What do launches look like when you're not doing the very masculine style launches, when you're not doing the big funnels, when you're not doing the big webinars, when you're not doing sales calls, when you're not doing all of those things? How do launches get to be a fluid thing in your social media? This is what I'm teaching in the launch and sales program. It is a either 6 or 8 week, I can't remember which one, program in May to June. So there's an option to join just that, but there's also an option of a bundle of everything that I just mentioned here. Okay, so some of you joined that bundle already, some of you not. So there's a bundle of everything, and then you can pick your pieces. Pretty straightforward, all the things. It is called the Get Paid Every Day bundle. So what a vibe is that, okay? So we will make a post in the Facebook group with links to if you want to buy the bundle, if you just want to buy one thing or whatever. The cool thing that we do as well in my world is if you're like, at this point, I just want to be in the masterclass, but then after the masterclass, you want to join Attraction, you will get to use that, what you paid for the masterclass, as a coupon to join Attraction, right? So if you know, oh, I want to be in both now, join Attraction, but there's kind of another dynamic that we allow as well, which is really fun in my world. Now, the last thing, and there's no link for it, you come to my inbox, and if you're in the collective, you get everything, except for our masterminds. This is what I'm talking about now. And you come to my inbox, there's no link. I am running a mastermind called Influencer Coach. Some of you are in it if you're here already. It is a 8-week mastermind in, I have to think of the months, I'm like May and June. I'm like, what month are we in? It is an 8-week mastermind for coaches who really felt lit up when I was talking about this is the business model. This is the way. High impact, micro impact. This is what it looks like, bringing in that kind of money, scaling in that high impact reach kind of way. So this is a mastermind with me. And the most incredible thing is the other people that join the mastermind have the same vision as you. So a big component of the mastermind is not just the coaching, the specific coaching you get from me, but the creative calibration and collaboration that's going to happen in the mastermind, because you're all creators. So it's going to be like a little vortex, I'm going to call it, like a little bubble of like how we can help each other create better content. And we're going to have specific workshops that are like, we get to go on, and it's going to be creative workshops where it's for how we actually get to be the pioneers of creating content that is very different and stands out. So if that calls to you, you can come to my inbox. It's $8,888 pay in full, or there's a few payment plan options if needed. So come to my inbox, okay? We will lay out all the things in a post in the Facebook group and in the email to go out later today as well. So this was the class today. I feel very, very, very excited to have not only shared all of this with you, but for you to get this burst of momentum and what this gets to look like for a next level for you in your own coaching business and on your social media. Like there's something here, there's many things here, but there's something here that you can literally apply today and it will start to ripple and make a game changer for you in your coaching business. This is the next level of social media. This is the next level of what to post. This is the next level of content creation. Oh, I can't wait to see the realizations. This is the next level. This is what we feel from other people. This is what you feel from watching other people on your social media. It's time for people to feel this from you. It's time to raise the bar. Nothing has to be perfect. You don't need to go get a team of people to film you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you've got a new level of energy to share on your social media. You know exactly what that is. So please share your takeaways in the feed, in the Facebook group. If you wanted to share on your Instagram story that you were here and tag me, I'd love to see those as well. If you have questions about any of the offers, please come to my inbox and we will share the links. I'm so happy. I'm so lit up. I'm so grateful. And I'm going to go look at the Facebook group as soon as we end here to connect with you guys a little bit further. I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.